welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are reviewing Tigres UANL 0, Orlando City SC 0, Tigres 0, Orlando City SC 0 in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League 2023 round of 16, leg 1, partido ida de la Liga de Campeones de Scotiabank de Concacaf, cuartos de final. Big match for Orlando. No goals in this one. The first half, both teams had their moments, pressed forward, pushed on. But in the end, it was all about the toughness. Both teams were down each other's throats. Yeah, that's the good word. We're down each other's throats. Both teams had their moments. It was half and half. Each team punched and they blocked. No goals against on either side. Each team punched and each team blocked. Punch after punch after punch after punch. 0-0 at the half. 0-0. Then at full time, of course, it was 0-0 as well. 0-0. Stats are as follows: 20 shots to 8, 12 shots on goal to 3, 58% possession to 42% possession, 454 passes to 292 passes, 86% pass accuracy to 91% pass accuracy, 14 fouls to 11, 2 offside to 0, 1 yellow card to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 5 corners to 1. And you could say in both teams deserved a decision to go their way, and both got screwed. Of course, Tigres laid on in the second half, should have had a penalty. I think it was pretty soft, but you could say they could have had a penalty. And then, of course, the Gignac red card, I think it was right to have been overturned. I think it should have been a yellow, and I think as well Schlegel should have got a yellow for his part in the situation. But it was a yellow to Gignac. Shouldn't have been a red. They overturned it. But you could say that Orlando got screwed there and they should have been up a man. With that being said, that's the big thing about this match. One of the bigger things is both teams should have had decisions that fell their way and gave them a better chance in the match or a better situation. But it didn't. And then you look so far that it's fair. I think it's fair both teams got screwed over, if you want to say they got screwed over. But with that being said, Orlando was tough. They defended very well in this game. Tigres as well, but Pedro Gallese stood on his head. Orlando had some great moments. I thought Luca Petrasso looked really good. I kind of hate that he did, because it makes Toronto look like idiots, but he did look very good in this game. He was CCL ready, which I knew, but again, ain't up to me. With that being said, Petrasso looked amazing. I thought the back line of Orlando was tough. I thought their midfield looked good. Ojeda honestly should have been able to dispossess Nahuel on that first one, which was basically a straight shot at goal. If he did, he would have rounded him and scored a goal, and it would have been 1-0 Orlando. You could say Orlando should have won this match, and I feel like they should have. I think they were slightly the better team. Overall, I think Orlando were slightly better than Tigres tonight at El Volcan. Orlando did enough to take the game back, the tie back to their house, 0-0, which means they have to win outright next week. But I'd rather be in that situation than lose away and have to overturn a deficit, and you'll still have to win outright. With that being said, it would have been nice if they could get an away goal. They did not. That's the good thing about Tigres, is Tigres did not allow the away goal, which really helps in that case. They did not allow the away goal, and they kept themselves in good position for the second leg. They kept themselves in good position going into the second leg as well. Neither team are out of it. Neither team have won it already. But I have to say, I think Orlando are in a better situation. They believe in themselves right now. They believe in themselves right now. They had a great performance down in Monterrey at El Volcan. Tigres, on the other hand, should have been able to win at home against Orlando City, a debuting in Concacaf Orlando City. And we saw from another team earlier tonight that if you debut in Concacaf, as I've said before, you need past experience in Concacaf to be good in Concacaf. Even if you do well in your first tournament, you still are lacking that experience. You have to get used to the tournament and the way these roll. But with that being said, you look at the game, the situation of the game, and Orlando rolled with the punches. They looked like they were experienced at this situation, at this level. Tigres, on the other hand, they've been champions before, but they didn't look it. I know their manager ain't great right now, but you got to say that Tigres did not look prepared for this tournament. I know it's been wild in Monterrey for the past couple of months. They fired Herrera. They had Diego Coca. He leaves straight to go to Mexico, pretty right off the bat to go to Mexico. They've had okay wins for the past couple of months since their new manager came in. And a draw and a bad loss, but they've done enough to get points and win games. But they seem sort of mid right now. Even though they're high in the table, it's sort of a false equivalency. And right now you saw that Orlando took advantage of that. Well, I shouldn't say took advantage of that, but they put themselves in a good position to take advantage of that at home at Exploria Stadium next week. Because they played a great defensive game. They played a great pressing game. They played forward well. They put a scare down Tigres' spine. They sort of definitely beat them at their own game. If you really want to put it like that, Tigres got beat at their own game. Orlando were ready to participate in the CONCACAF shenanigans, so to speak. And they weren't even in the perception of being in the tournament before. This is their first time in the tournament, and they have participated in these shenanigans and look like they're absolute pros. I still think you need a good bit of experience when you get into CONCACAF. I mean, you could have a great first run. I mean, hey, law of averages at some point. Some teams got to have a great first run, and maybe Orlando's that team. But again, as I said, they had a great offseason, low-key, and they built on. They played a damn good game. And they started the season a bit iffy, so to speak. A bit iffy. And they looked amazing tonight. They looked an absolute amazing performance tonight from Orlando City. Great goalkeeper performance from Pedro Gallese, and he's my man of the match. Pedro Gallese, 8 saves. Toughed it out and played a great game because he did have a late head injury. I mean, I hope they pull him and keep him out of the MLS game, put in Staduhar, and then put him back in for CCL if they can, if it isn't that bad for the second leg, because Gallese is that guy. It's a good thing they kept him, and it's a good thing they have him because they need him, especially in this situation, because everything still has to go perfect next week for Orlando if they want to win this tie. And everything went perfect tonight. They have to have another perfect game. And this was pretty much perfect, considering that they were at one of the hardest stadiums to play in CONCACAF, and they got out with a draw, and they honestly, arguably should have won. Everything went perfectly, and Gallese's man of the match for me, a beautiful performance from Pedro Gallese, the Peruvian for Orlando City. Out-dueled as a goalkeeper, out-dueled Nahuel Guzman, a former Golden Glove winner in this tournament. Yeah, great win. Great draw, but it feels like a win if you're Orlando, I would have to say. Like, this draw feels like a win if you're Orlando. If you're Tigres, however, it's a little bit deflating, I would have to say. With that being said, though, it's a 0-0 draw. I can't say that much. I think a 10-minute video is a pretty good thing coming out at midnight for a 0-0 draw in the Champions League. That was exciting, but still a 0-0 draw. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist, share us with friends and family, all that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live watch along for, I think it's Olympia Atlas. I think so. And then, of course, the RSR for Vancouver Whitecaps versus Real España. I'll see you then tomorrow. One live, one review. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.